Hey guys, so for today's project what we're going to try to do is create a dinosaur fossil artwork. Today all we really are going to do is look at a few examples of dinosaur skeletons, and then we're going to try to draw them using lines and shapes. This is going to be kind of our sketch for our final artwork. When we have time at the end, what we're going to try to do is actually make these out of clay and add a little bit of texture to them to make it look like it's an actual fossil. So what you guys have to do here basically is just watch the next few videos and I'll explain to you how we can draw these and what our first step is going to look like. Alright, so here I've got a few different examples of dinosaur fossils for you to check out. Feel free to pause it on the one that you like when you go to draw it. Every dinosaur fossil that we go to draw, even if they're similar like these last two, they're going to be drawn slightly different. The shape of the head, the shape of the ribs, the shape of the hips, the angle of the spine, how big the legs are compared to the arms. If you look at an upright dinosaur, the arms are going to be much shorter than they would be for a dinosaur that walks on all four, like these guys. Now, Triceratops has a very unique skull, so that's something you're going to have to consider when you're sketching that. Stegosaurus has these plates on his back that you would have to add. I want you to think about what shapes those are closest to, probably a triangle, and that's kind of what you want to think of when you're sketching all this. Lines and shapes, and each one of these dinosaurs has relatively the same body parts. They're just different sizes, different shapes, and different angles. So consider that when you guys are doing your artwork and you're starting your drawing. Hey guys, so for this part of the project, what we're going to try to do is draw our dinosaur. I have some simple steps that you can follow, mostly drawing simple lines and shapes lightly and then adding details. We're going to see that in the next slide here. So here we have the first step would be to draw a oval in the upper left-hand corner for the head, followed by the spine that's stretching kind of down diagonal across the paper. Next, you want to be drawing a circle or an oval for where the ribs would go and the hips. So there's the oval for the ribs and the hips. All this should be drawn lightly because we're going to erase some of it at the end. The next step is we're going to use lines to draw the legs. I want you to look at the bend in the legs. It goes down and then back slightly and then has a little bit of an angle down for where the ankle and toes are. Next step, we're going to be drawing the arms. Same as we drew the legs, but they are just way smaller for the T-Rex. He also has 2 fingers that we're drawing there. Next, what we're going to do is, I made it a little bit lighter so you can see that this is supposed to be drawn lightly so we can draw details on top. Here I've drawn the head, I've taken that oval, I've drawn the jaw, I've drawn the eyes holes, the nose hole, and everything like that. I turn the spine into like a little bit of a thicker line, and then I'm going to go into the ribs and draw the rib lines going almost to as big as the oval. See, that's just why we drew the oval to begin with. There are also little kind of mini lines in the spine as well, in the neck and in the tail. Next, what we're going to do is draw the oval for the hips, and then I drew the legs where I turned it looking more like a bone with the ball and the socket, where there's a ball at the end of each part of the bone, and then I kind of filled in the feet into like a little bit thicker of a line. Same thing for the arms. The last step is basically you would maybe erase anything extra that you guys have underneath so you can see what your dinosaur sketch would look like, fossil sketch should look like underneath. Alright, and that's basically all you have to do.